Good afternoon. Thank you for staying for this part. I saw that some people have left. Actually, when we were registering the company in Zug and we came to the notary, it was in February this year, I was asked by the notary, what is, you have the name, Ubex AI. So AI is alternative investments, right? Definitely it's not. Definitely it's artificial intelligence. We are now making quite a big roadshow across the globe, mainly in Asia. Everywhere we see that the combination of AI and blockchain is probably the hottest topic that is raising just now. So my feeling is that it will be one of the top both investment opportunities and development opportunities in the next 2, 3 to 5 years. And we are both in this sphere. We will give very brief introductions about our company so that you understand who we are, and then we'll talk a bit more about AI. Does it sound good?
Yeah. Perfect, yeah.
Maybe you introduce your company first.
I'll be happy to introduce the Mindfire Foundation. Grüezi wohl miteinander, zuerst einmal. My name is Lukas, I'm based in New York. What is Mindfire all about? Mindfire is basically the Swiss moon landing program in terms of AI. We have quite a vision going on. Mindfire unites the best talents on this planet to decode the human brain. Why do we do that? Basically because we want to de-hype what is called AI. We believe whatever is labeled AI today has nothing, really nothing in common with intelligence. It's basically computing, it's basically algorithms. Conceptually, it has not changed since the 50s, 60s. What we see is an increased computing power. What we see are better algorithms. However, it's pretty much the same still. So how do we do that? We bring together the smartest minds because we believe that the challenge of decoding the human brain, a challenge which has been unsolved so far, is of a magnitude which is so big that one single lab, one single scientist will never ever be able to do it. So we need to bring together people, we need to bring together labs in order to collaborate. How we do that, that's where blockchain comes in. We created a token which basically incentivizes collaboration. The token is designed in a way that we link the token to the revenues based on the intellectual property, based on the revenues coming out of the licensing of the intellectual property. That's how it works. And now you might say there's a number of initiatives out there trying to basically bridge different labs, the Blue Brain Project, the Human Brain Project, but that's exactly why we need a blockchain. Blue Brain Project, Human Brain Project, they have huge administrative burdens, huge regulatory burdens. We try to basically cut that short and take a different approach. Briefly, just one more second, where we stand today. We set up the foundation last year together with Pascal Kaufmann, founder and CEO of StarMind, and together with Professor Dr. Christoph von der Malzburg, famous German neuroscientist. Then we filed a patent for the token filed in the US. That was in November. Also in November, we launched the program officially at ETH Zurich. We opened the call for applications for the talents. We received hundreds of applications so far. We picked the best 35. We'll bring them together in 3 weeks in Davos, Switzerland. They will work initially on challenges related to career systems, related to human intelligence. And last but not least, we just released our white paper. We have a tokenized solutions, as I said, and this needs to be funded. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Lukas. I will briefly introduce what we do. We're in a different space. We apply artificial intelligence to a very concrete industry. I'm working all my life in the advertisement industry. I have been marketing director of a big FMCG company in the past. What we do, we use the neural networks to understand what are the human desires, to understand what kind of advertisement to show to them today, and what is that has highest chances not just to be clicked, but also highest chances of a purchase. So for example, we are using the data about a woman, and we can quite easily trace that this woman is pregnant by the type of the search she is doing, by the type of behavior she does online, by the type of information she is putting and she's writing. Yes, she might not even know that she's pregnant herself, but we know it. So if a woman is pregnant, for example, definitely she would not be interested, not definitely, but most probably she would not be interested in expensive traveling somewhere. Even though she is a woman, she is perfect target audience for travel agencies. But she is not really in a state to travel today, yes? But at the same time, she is just in a perfect state to buy some baby clothing because she's preparing to the birth. So we make the full analysis of the data through the neural network, and the neural network is based on several levels of the network, meaning that we can analyze to the deepest details what happens with this particular woman, and then in the milliseconds that she is waiting for the moment when the site is downloading, we are choosing the most relevant ad for her and showing to her, for example, the baby clothing. She's clicking, she's buying, and only after she's making the purchase, the payment is done from the advertiser of this baby clothing to the publisher. So no need to waste advertisement space on useless ads that are irrelevant. No need to see the useless ads, and as well, it's a complete avoidance of fraud transactions. Yes, because in advertisement market now, especially in the cost per action model market, there is lots of fraud, around 40 to 50% of fraud. We exclude it through the smart contracts, and we make it all smooth through the blockchain reputation system and through a number of other tools that we are using. So just to reiterate it, we're using the artificial intelligence for the data analysis. We're a data company. Yes, we're not an advertisement company. We're a data analysis company primarily. And at the same time, we're using blockchain, which is already decentralized, unlike neural network. We're using blockchain to execute all the payments, to make the tokenization of advertisement spaces, to make the reputation system possible, etc., to make all the add-ons that help to implement the future of advertisement.
That sounds terribly exciting. Thank you for that explanation.
I know your desire. I'm not artificial intelligence, but I know your desire.
Let me ask you, how can you create AI without knowing what intelligence is?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Without knowing what intelligence actually is, there is no human being on this planet who is able to explain intelligence, who is able to explain brain functionalities in a way that we have a consistent view of intelligence, of principles of intelligence. So how can you talk about AI?
Okay, there are many discussions whether this is really AI or not, whether the word is correct. I would rather call it a very, very smart computer.
Yeah.
And we prefer the word neural network, which is one of the type of artificial intelligence.
Where do you see the limits going forward 5, 10 years? How smart can Ubex get?
So in the year 2013, there was a computer that could had the thinking capacity of a 4-year child. The forecast is that by the year 2029, the artificial intelligence will reach their processing capacity and thinking capacity of an adult.
Yep.
Yes, I believe it might happen a bit earlier because the learning mechanisms are really fast, and we see it in our networks. As soon as the system defines the right algorithm, it learns much faster than it was before. Like with ads, as soon as it finds the first right ad, it immediately finds by lookalikes, by other methodologies. Sometimes we even know a person better than person knows himself. Yes. So by the year 2029, it would be better than human intelligence for sure.
That's certainly very true. If we look at the performance level, basically, performance level of computers, performance level of algorithms. Even today, AlphaGo, for instance, Google's brainchild, is able to easily outperform me, probably not every human being, but certainly me. So in terms of performance, we reached a point where the human brain can be imitated, but in terms of capacity, in terms of creative capacity, in terms of original thinking, we have 0 approaches. Do you see, an approach you could take with Ubex to basically overcome and help us and help Mindfire to find solutions how we could overcome the issue of how does intelligence actually work? Capacity problem is solved. We consider that done. How do we get creative? How do we? What do you mean? I suggest you end the discussion and have the discussion out there. Thank you. Please.
We are mainly concerned about efficiency here. So we are using the neural networks not just to make the advertisements very smart like a human, but to make it efficient. Yes, what's a very important feature of artificial intelligence in which it is better than human, it never forgets. So if it has information, it does not forget. Yes, human brain has a system of deleting most of the information at night,
which
especially if you have some alcohol, by the way.
Absolutely,
that's a medical thing. Definitely, in terms of creativity, I don't think that we will reach the same capacity quite soon, but is it really needed? Because in the future, some jobs will disappear, but humans will move more and more to the creative types of the jobs. And we don't really want computers to substitute that piece. Do you see it differently? Because you have quite a lot of applications of various solutions.
Absolutely.
To you, and I have seen few of them which are quite creative.
Basically, I don't know. We are at the very beginning of Mindfire. The first mission is taking place in about 3 weeks. We'll gather 35 talents, 15 high-level advisors. They will basically set a start to the future research of the principles of intelligence, the principles that govern intelligence. So I'm certainly not qualified on talking about where the mission of Mindfire is going. I leave that up to the talents. I leave that up to the people creating the content. I'm the guy putting together the business behind Mindfire, and I'm not myself a talent. But let me switch topics. I was very excited to learn that you moved to Crypto Valley, that you moved operations to Switzerland. What motivated you to come here?
We have heard today the talks by the top government officials. Yes. So Crypto Nation Switzerland is the only place. Switzerland is the only place where we can predict the future without even having artificial intelligence. So everywhere. So everywhere else, new laws might appear. Everywhere else, it may be forbidden. I have been on a conference in China recently where police came and just stopped the conference.
Yeah.
Yes, can it happen here? Probably not.
Probably not.
And that is why we're here, and that is why we believe, even though the notaries here don't know what AI means, we need to start teaching them, because not only blockchain will move Swiss economy forward, but as well a number of other technologies, like the big data, like AI, like a number of other things that are just popping up right now.
So what's the timeline? You just set up the operation in Crypto Valley. What's the timeline in terms of token sale, rollout of the application, commercialize it?
Yeah, so we have the alpha version being launched in just a few weeks. So it's an alpha version that you can use just on mobile to place your ads with certain parameters. We are in the roadshow for the last 2 months for the private sales. We will be having the main token sale starting on May 21. The exact date will depend on the market conditions, but right now the plan is May 21, and we will continue through the summer. Yes. So we still have some time there. We're not in a rush. At the same time, we do need a lot of data to be purchased in order to teach the neural networks, because we do have the system, but the data still needs to come. And definitely we need investments in order to purchase that data, to have the right partnership for the data, and as well for the business developments on the regional levels. Yes, I know that you're running the next competition in autumn. So is your token sale also related to the autumn competition?
I mean, certainly, let's be honest, the story always gets better if you have a tangible story to tell. As I said, we're going to launch the first challenge, the first competition. We call it missions. Will be launched in May. The second mission is planned for later in the year, October, November, and after that we're basically planning 2 to 3 missions every year with up to 100 talents, which will gather all the time in Davos, Switzerland. In terms of the tokenization, the timeline, the white paper is out. We'll certainly start selling tokens privately anytime soon. We will launch a pre-sale towards summer. The actual token sale is quite far away. We look at Q3, Q4, 2018, so plenty of time. And at the end of the day, we have an interest in stakeholders with a stake in the system, and we're not interested in just dropping money, take it out again, the dump kind of game being played in many parts of the world. The token of Mindfire gives you not only the ability to participate in the revenues of the licensing of the IP in the Mindfire Foundation, it gives you also voting rights, so you actually can actively influence future missions, you can actively influence the outcome and the direction of the research leading to the principles of intelligence. So it's quite open, it's decentralized, it's distributed. However, I want to highlight here, blockchain for us is really a means to an end. We're not a blockchain project. We're a project highlighting and researching the principles of human intelligence.
That's really nice. And I have one last question. Do you know if artificial intelligence is a man or a woman?
I live in New York, it's genderless. It's in between.
And what do you think? Are some of you using some applications? Sophia is a woman, right? Siri is a woman. Alexa is a woman. So for some reason, most of the artificial intelligence applications are female today. And what this means, if there will be more artificial intelligence and there will be more female power in the world will become much more beautiful and much nicer, right?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.